Okay, this is video 3 of the main menu videos. This one's going to be a little bit longer because I'm actually going to be writing out the C# script. And to do this, we start in Unity, and just in our asset folder we're going to create, and we're going to create a C# script. So as you can see, this has created one here, and I'm just going to call this menu, I'm going to call it main menu. Main menu. Enter. Okay, so what I need to do now is I actually need to open this up in our Visual Studio, so then we can edit the script to what we need it to be. You can also do this in Mono Develop if that's what you have to use. So I'm going to double click to open it up. Now I already had Visual Studio open, so mine was quite fast to open, so just give it time. Now, here is where we're going to edit all of our script into Visual Studio. So to do this, we don't need all of this script. So I'm going to show you what to keep and show you what to add. We are keeping the using Unity engine. We're keeping using system collections. We are keeping public class main menu, mono behavior, and we are going to delete everything else. Alright, so with C# we actually have to declare just at the top here what kind of behaviors we're going to be using. So what we're going to be using within our script. If we don't declare it at the start, the function won't actually work within the script. So we're using Unity Engine, we're using systems.collections. We're also going to be using Unity Engine, and we're going to be using that UI function, which is where we created the canvases and where we created all of that information. And lastly, we're going to be using a function in Unity, so Unity Engine, a function called scene management, and this is going to allow us to with our build settings, choose to go from our main menu into our gameplay really easily. So Unity Engine, System Collections, Unity Engine.ui, Unity Engine.scene management. Okay, so we're going to go down to now our actual code. It says public class main menu. It gets this function from whatever we have called our script. And we're just going to enter down our curly bracket and start with our first function. So what we're going to be doing first is declaring our variables that we want to be able to change and declare what they are in Unity. So we're going to put in a public canvas, because that's what we've used, the function of the canvas, and we're going to have our main canvas. Then we're also going to declare our second canvas, which is our options canvas. Alright, so with our two canvases declared, they're the two ones that we created in Unity, we're now going to actually create some button functions. These button functions, we're going to then later in the next tutorial assign them to the buttons that we have created in Unity. But here we're going to create the script for how they're going to work. So firstly, we're going to create a void awake. So when you awaken, so it's like a turn on of the game. So when we turn the game on, we want this to appear. So void awake, and we're going to open a command. We're going to turn on, or we're going to, sorry, not turn on, we're going to turn off our options canvas. So options canvas dot enabled equals false, means that on awake, on startup, we are turning off that options canvas. So the canvas that will be displayed by default will be that main menu. That's our first function. Our second function, so public void, and the public void, we're now declaring an actual button that we're wanting to create. So we are going to create a options on button, and when the options on button is created, we want the options canvas enabled equals true, and the main canvas equals false. So this is saying that when we press the options button, it is going to turn the options canvas on and it's going to turn the main canvas off. Okay, next one we're going to create public void return on. So when we hit the return button, we want the options canvas dot enabled equals false. We want that turned off because we want to turn on the main canvas dot enabled equals true. So when we hit that return button on the options menu, we want to go straight back to that main menu. So we need to turn the options canvas off and keep the main canvas turned on. Lastly, we need a play button and we need to function the play button. So we're going to create a public void and we're going to call it load on. So this is basically to load the game, to get it started. So with the load on, we're going to use our scene manager. So we're going to use our build settings, which I'll show you how to do in the next video. We're going to use those build settings to function the first game to start playing when this button is pressed. So we're going to use scene manager and we're going to load scene. Now, in the scene manager, when we build it, I'll show you right now. So if I go into Unity and go into my build settings, it should have nothing in there to start with. So firstly, we would bring our menu in by pressing open or add open scene. So that's just our menu video that I created there. And you'll see that just over on the side here, it has a 0. So that means that's the load scene number it's sitting at. So if I now go and drag in my game, which was called my video test, drag that into my build setting, you'll see that video test is sitting at 1. So that is the load scene number. So I can X out of that now. I don't need to build or run yet because it's not ready to go. And I go back to Visual Studio. So we want to load scene 1 and that's going to play the game. So I'm going to end off my function there. And I'm going to then end off everything with my last curly bracket. Now I need to make sure that I actually save this. And then when I go back to Unity, you can see that it's updated the script all down the side here.